Good morning, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Tuesday, June the 12th, 2018. And I'm so glad that you can be with me today, whether you're watching on Facebook Live right here, right now, or if you're tuning in later on YouTube on my channel, Jeanne Sigler. I'm so glad that you could join me. Well, I'd like to talk to you today just for a moment about tornadoes. Tornadoes, or twisters as they're called in this part of the world. Now, Michael and I lived for several years when we worked with a ministry in Lindale, Texas. We lived in what was called Tornado Alley. Now, right in that area of Smith County, Texas, Van Zandt County, Texas, that was well known for its tornadoes. And believe me when I say we saw some storms in the 4 years that we were residents there. And it was quite a sight to behold. We had one go right through the property of the ministry property at Last Days Ministries where we were living, and it actually uprooted a big giant tree right in front of the dwelling that we were living in. It was very scary, but I'm so glad, really glad that we were able to be protected. The hand of God was on us through that, and I'll tell you how many times we saw and got nervous when there were storms. We all had to go to common places or hide in bathtubs and do things like that to protect us. Well, living here in Southeast Alabama isn't much different. Maybe it's a little bit less, but we are constantly, aware, especially when the weatherman or weather girl says that we're entering into tornado season or into storm season, hurricane season. Those are frightening words, but they can happen. I remember a story being told some time ago. Now, whether this is urban legend or it actually really did happen, I know potentially it can happen, but a story was told years ago about a big twister that went through a Midwestern town, and it spun and it dropped down and it picked up a baby in a crib and lifted the whole thing up and carried it over to a mile away and dropped it back down again, and the baby never woke up from sleeping. Now, if that's true, that is pretty remarkable and pretty amazing. And as I said, whether it's urban legend or not, I don't know, but it is potentially true. And the reason why is because a twister or a tornado, as violent as it is, as fast as those winds spin, the center of it, the core, is the safest and quietest and most gentle and safe place to be. Now, can you imagine that? Could you imagine seeing something as violent and wild as a twister, and in the center is a place of peace and rest? Well, that's what our lives should be like, boys and girls, because I know that there are a number of twisters and tornadoes going on in the lives of my viewers right here, right now. I know it, including myself. There's been a lot in the news lately about celebrities committing suicide, and it is a very sad thing. But when somebody feels like they've got a twister, a tornado in their life that they simply cannot find the quiet spot to, and they're just spinning around in that thing, they see no other way out. Now, we've had a couple of high-profile people kill themselves, and I'm sad to report that a very dear friend of mine attempted it in recent days. And that is a sad thing, because that person saw no way out, no answer. Now, I am very happy to report that the attempt didn't work, and that person is still with us. So I'm just hoping and praying with all my heart that that spinning is not where that person is anymore, but instead has found its way, their way into the center, into the safe, peaceful place, because that's where we need to be. So if you have a tornado in your life, or you know somebody who's experiencing those wild twisting winds and sees no way out, remind them that there is a safe place right in the center. The safest place to be is in the center of the will of God. And I really believe that's true. There's an old saying that says, I may not know what the future holds, but I do know who holds the future. I think about that song by the Gaithers that said, because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future. My life is worth living because he lives. And that's my prayer for anybody who's finding themselves in those twisting winds of a tornado on this day, okay? Now remember, go out and be a blessing to somebody today. You may end up being the only one who is. Encourage them. Encourage them as much as you possibly can, especially if you think they may possibly be going through a tornadic stage of life. Make sure you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, Jeanne Sigler, and I hope that my past take-twos that you can watch will be an encouragement to you so you can help somebody out in their day today. And also, for some beautiful soothing music, I encourage you, tune in to WRMZ.org and just click that listen button, okay? I'm going to leave you with this. Because I know he holds the future. My life and your life is worth a living just because he lives. I'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed. Love you. Bye-bye.